My name is Elliot Osler, and I am the 2020 UNO Faculty Senate President. Each year, we make time to gather together to honor the accomplishments of faculty across campus in the areas of teaching, research and creative activity, and service engagement. And here again, we find ourselves doing so under the unique circumstances of fate, but steadfastly unaffected, I think, in our appreciation of the achievements of our professional colleagues and friends. When I was asked to do this introduction, someone gave me the advice, you've got to make your audience laugh to get them engaged. And I said, well, because of the pandemic, it's a video introduction, so it's a bit difficult to gauge the interest of the audience, to which this person responded, oh, a video introduction, well then it's easy. You won't have to say a word to make them laugh. Now, it took me a minute to figure out that I'd been insulted because my mind immediately went to, it will be easy, because this isn't an odd speech about a random topic to a group of strangers. These are my friends and colleagues who are celebrating the professional distinctions of UNO faculty in the most respectful way. It is my honor and pleasure to be celebrating with you today, and as much so to introduce the Chancellor of UNO, Dr. Jeffrey P. Gold, who will begin the formal portion of our program. Thanks, and enjoy the convocation.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us at this year's Honors Convocation. While this isn't the platform we wanted to use to recognize our outstanding faculty, it is still important to celebrate these amazing accomplishments. We hope that we can gather soon to congratulate each of the honorees in person. Every year, UNO builds on the previous year's successes. This is due in no small part to the passion and the dedication of our talented faculty. This year, we have a great deal to be proud of. UNO will once again be represented among the winners of the President's Excellence Awards, the university's most prestigious awards for teaching, research, and community engagement. We're looking forward to celebrating the achievements of the recipients at a future ceremony, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge our UNO Department honoree. The University-wide Departmental Teaching Award, known as the UDTA, honors a department that has outstanding pride and loyalty in its dedication to the education and to the mission of its students, at the undergraduate and at the graduate level. These departments within the University of Nebraska have made a unique and a highly significant contribution to the teaching effort at our university. We're honored to recognize the Teacher Education Department as the winner of the University-wide Departmental Teaching Award this year. This department provides quality programs leading to initial certifications, as well as advanced degree programs to enhance professional certification to its students and to the school programs they work for. The vision these faculty members and the department are dedicated to consists of promoting socially responsible learning communities that honors and empowers all learners. They strive to model best practices that prepare professionals who demonstrate intentional competence as dedicated practitioners, reflective scholars, and also as responsible citizens. Our Teacher Education Department has built an instructional culture that encourages and rewards high-quality teaching and prioritizes student education, faculty engagement, and of course, diversity and inclusion. Currently, 2 out of every 3 educators in the Omaha metropolitan area hold a degree from UNO. As an alumnus is quoted to say, the support structures that are in place through UNO are a big part of why I have been able to successfully pass through my advanced degrees while being engaged in my professional career, end quote. Our Teacher Education Department is under the leadership of Dr. Kathy Danielson, the chair of the department, and of course Dean Nancy Edict of the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences. This is an impressive honor and very well deserved. They will continue to do amazing work and turn out top-notch students due to the student-centered focused teaching, research, and service in their partnerships with area schools and nonprofit organizations. Our warmest and most sincere congratulations to Kathy and Nancy and all faculty and staff in the Teacher Education Department on this distinguished achievement. In a moment, I will turn things over to Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Sasha Kopp, to present the UNO Faculty Awards. But before I do that, I want to thank each and every one of you for your service to our university and for your dedication to our students. I am so proud to be a part of the Maverick family and to celebrate with you today.
Thank you, Chancellor Gold, and congratulations to the Teacher Education Department. Great students come to study at the university with great faculty. The opportunity to recognize outstanding faculty calls our attention to the heart and soul of what constitutes a university. The exchange of ideas, the ability to challenge and inspire, sharing with others the joy of discovery and creative work, and an active and abiding concern for students. We're so grateful for the chance to recognize faculty who work to make UNO a unique place for Mavericks to discover, learn, and thrive, and make UNO a top metropolitan university. The Alumni Outstanding Teaching Awards were established in 1997, and since then, more than 200 faculty members have received Alumni Outstanding Teaching Awards from the UNO Alumni Association. Each year, 9 faculty are recognized for their teaching and commitment to student success. Recipients are selected through a competitive process by a committee of their peers in each college. They represent a diverse group of individuals and areas of study, and yet a common thread that connects all of them is a dedication to learning and success. The faculty being honored today have distinguished themselves through their work with students, both inside and outside the classroom. In the classroom, they inspire learning by engaging students in critical thinking that is integral and relevant to their lives. They spark curiosity in the minds of students through their teaching and inspire students to want to learn more. It's not surprising that these faculty are consistently evaluated very positively by their students. Outside the classroom, honorees help students learn by providing assistance with course assignments, engaging in both academic and career advising, and support our students' personal development as they embark on their life's journey. Our faculty honorees also frequently involve students in their research and creative activities. They serve as supervisors of FUSE or GRACA projects and as mentors to students embarking on projects as part of capstone, thesis, or dissertation requirements. These faculty work side by side with students and encourage them in their learning and professional development as some go on to present their work at conferences or even co-author publications. Perhaps most importantly, Alumni Teaching Award recipients consistently show their students that they care about them and their success. They meet their students where they are and help them develop and improve their skills, as well as build confidence in themselves. They go above and beyond to connect with their students, support them, and provide them with the tools to be successful and mavericks in their field. Each respective dean or department chair will now make remarks about their college honorees.
Hello. I'm David Booker, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'm excited to recognize 3 outstanding faculty members that will be receiving the Alumni Outstanding Teaching Awards, starting with Alicia Anderson. Dr. Alicia Anderson is an associate professor in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. She teaches courses in race and ethnic relations and social inequality, in addition to her teaching of Introduction to Sociology. She is guided in her teaching by her firm belief that each individual student has a unique set of goals, and that her role is not to dictate those goals, but to accommodate to their individual needs. To accomplish this teaching philosophy, she constructs her classroom as an integrative learning environment, one where learning is not unidirectional. She has developed and taught a course called Social Change and Social Justice, which includes a service learning component in order to help students learn what working in the community entails and to promote the importance of service to groups that are working to improve their communities. Students are heavily impacted by their experiences in her classes. One wrote that Dr. Anderson's philosophy and knowledge helped her to grow as a person and in new ways confirmed her passion to make a difference and create change. Another wrote that Dr. Anderson was a consistent voice of validation, understanding, and support for him during times of stress, and that she spent hours discussing non-academic issues with him in order to ensure that he felt valued at UNO. Dr. Alicia Anderson's ability to educate students both in and out of the classroom is truly special. Congratulations, Alicia. Next is Dr. Kristen Girton, an associate professor of English who teaches courses in Restoration, 18th century, Romantic literature and culture, literature of science, and women's and gender studies. What is important about Dr. Girton's approach to teaching literature is how she works to move her classes beyond discussion. Discussions in her classes are not only oral, but also visual and even kinesthetic. To this end, she has developed techniques for motivating students to become physically active as they learn, thus counteracting the sedentary nature of reading and writing. She has developed service learning projects that create hands-on learning experiences for students that established a P16 community garden project and allowed students to understand engraving in the vein of poet William Blake. Students write that their experiences in Dr. Girton's classes changed them, and for the better. Because of her work, one student wrote that she was able to recognize her own values and define herself against colorful history of feminism that is prevalent in all of her classes, not just those based in women's literature. Dr. Girton helps students see that they have intellectual worth, that they have ideas, and that they might do big things with them. Congratulations, Kristen. The final recipient is Dr. Jennifer Harbour, who is associate professor in the Department of Black Studies. She teaches courses in African American history, slavery and emancipation, and gender and sexuality studies. In her teaching, Dr. Harbour strives to give a voice to people who no longer have one. As a historian, she used to think this meant that she could liberate people from American historical amnesia. But now, after 15 years of student evaluations that describe her classroom as a safe space for all people to share, she realizes that her classroom discussions are critical for empathy building for all students in the course. She has learned that as much as she wants to tell the stories of people who no longer have a voice, students want to share their own stories for the same reason. Before they enter her classroom, she knows that students understand the onslaught against their bodies, and she aspires to create time and space for their voices to tell their stories. Students recognize her intent, and they are truly grateful for the opportunities they have in her classes. One student observed how she had developed trust with the students by carefully listening to their words and ideas. No one was told they were wrong. She asked questions to help students develop their own ideas and understand themselves individually and collectively. If tension arose, and it did, writes one student, Dr. Harbour helped them to see each other's side and hear what the other was saying. One student wrote, "I always felt heard." Another student attributes her overall success to UNO to Dr. Harbour's constant motivation and endless dedication. The student wrote that Dr. Harbour helped her understand her history, her worth, and intelligence as a first-generation college student. Congratulations, Jennifer.
I'm Nancy Edick, Dean of the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences. It is my privilege to award Dr. Kelly Gomez Johnson with the Alumni Outstanding Teaching Award. Impressive teacher, extraordinary collaborator, prolific researcher, and visionary leader describe Dr. Gomez Johnson. Let's start with impressive teacher. Since she began her career at UNO in 2015, she consistently receives high course ratings and has a reputation as a highly organized, rigorous, caring, and personable teacher. Extraordinary collaborator, Dr. Gomez Johnson has strengthened the college's relationships with our school partners, and in the words of one nominator, almost single-handedly enhanced elementary mathematics instruction in a district, having worked directly with over 1/8 of all the teachers. Dr. Gomez-Johnson's research success and ability to collaborate is evidenced by numerous internal teaching grants related to STEM education, as well as millions of dollars in externally funded work where she serves in co-PI roles with partners, including the College of Arts and Sciences and Metropolitan Community College. Her visionary and collaborative leadership style was recognized during her successful tenure as president of UNO's highly successful We STEM Pro 2 organization, which is dedicated to the promotion, professional development, and instructional excellence of women in STEM fields. You know, the 2-minute time limit does not allow me to share the many accolades, praise, and expressions of respect for Dr. Gomez-Johnson documented by her nominators. However, one colleague said that in nearly 3 decades on the UNO campus, Dr. Gomez-Johnson is absolutely the worthiest individual that I have had the honor to nominate to a teaching award. Wow, Kelly. As your former professor, I could not be prouder to present you with the UNO Alumni Outstanding Teaching Award. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Michelle Trawick, Dean of the College of Business Administration. On behalf of the college, I am so very pleased to recognize Angelica Stout as the college's Alumni Outstanding Teaching Honoree. Ms. Stout, a prior recipient of departmental, college, and university awards for teaching and engagement, is known for classes that are both challenging and welcoming, and often scores among the highest in our college on course evaluations, particularly in the areas of enthusiasm, organization, and individual rapport. A former student commented, "She is honestly the perfect person to teach this class that focuses on perfecting communicating in business." Despite her accolades, Ms. Stout is not satisfied with her performance and continues to polish her skills to ensure students have the best experience and knowledge base possible. She raises the bar for inclusivity and sensitivity in the classroom while increasing accessibility and quality for all her students. As Dean, I couldn't ask for more. Congratulations, Angelica.
I'm John Bartle, Dean of the College of Public Affairs and Community Service. It is my pleasure to present the CPAC's Alumni Outstanding Teaching Award to Dr. Samantha Klinkenbeard, Associate Professor in the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Dr. Klinkenbeard, Sam as we know her, is a caring and passionate teacher who puts in the extra hours that her students need. One of Sam's students, Rachel Reef, pointed to one of her great qualities. Her patient, thoughtful, and encouraging approach made my experiences with her incredibly valuable. She takes the time to get to know each student, figures out what they need, and makes a constant effort to engage each student in active participation. In class, she always has a valuable hands-on learning opportunity. As a result, students participate enthusiastically and develop interest in the course. Another former student of hers, Dr. Star Solomon, now on the faculty at Kent State University, said, "As a result of her teaching and mentorship, I was able to publish a manuscript in my first semester as an assistant professor. Dr. Klinkenbeard helped me with the article after I graduated. This commitment exemplifies why Dr. Klinkenbeard is an excellent mentor. She always makes time for current as well as former students." In addition to her teaching duties, Dr. Klinkenbeard is a program coordinator for both the Omaha and Lincoln criminal justice undergraduate programs, which together have almost 1,000 students. In that role, she develops numerous extracurricular opportunities that enlighten students about career options. For example, one of the programs is the annual Women in Criminal Justice Unite event, which provides the opportunity for students to network with professionals and hear candidly from women in leadership positions. Special events such as these occur in the evening. Not only does she spend the time to organize the events and recruit panelists, she makes sure students have the opportunity to meet potential employers and professional mentors. I am proud to present this award to Dr. Klinkenbeard and to thank her for all she does for our students and our college. Congratulations, Sam.
I'm Peter Walcott, the chair of the Department of Information Systems and Quantitative Analysis, and I've had the honor of working with Dr. Ryan Schetzler since he joined the department in 2015. Dr. Schetzler has won the UNO Alumni Teaching Award for IS&T because he excels at all aspects of teaching, from code to classroom to community. It starts with passion, a passion for learning new things and enabling others to learn new things as well. If there's a new tool or technique, Dr. Schetzler will master it. If the tools available don't do the job, Dr. Schetzler will find or create ones that do. Dissatisfied with the Canvas discussion boards, Dr. Schetzler adapted an open source system in his classes using the Canvas application programming interface to automate grade posting from the board to Canvas, at the same time receiving rave reviews from his students for the depth and quality of discussion. His passion extends to the well-being of his students, something noted by several students during the current pandemic. Dr. Schetzler has a talent for making complex topics understandable by breaking them down into digestible pieces, then enabling students to put the pieces back together again. One of the ways he does this, at the cost of a great deal of his own time, is to create lab exercises on Amazon's web services that give students the opportunity to connect the IT infrastructure and computer security concepts learned in class to what they actually mean when one tries to do or build something in practice. He uses humor effectively as well. He has a lineup of actual rubber duckies available for use by his students for rubber duck debugging. It's a thing, look it up, which brings smiles to the faces of those passing by his office. He is supremely organized, enabling students to spend their time on high-value activities rather than trying to figure out what they are expected to do. Dr. Schetzler has also been very active in serving the department, spearheading an update of the undergraduate curriculum, and serving as the departmental faculty liaison for instructional design for IS&T, guiding his colleagues to the use of best practices in online teaching and learning. In short, Dr. Schetzler is the complete teacher. And by the way, he does good research too. Congratulations, Ryan.
Hello, I'm Michael Hilt, Dean of the College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media. It is my pleasure to take a moment or so of your time to recognize the 2020 CFAM Alumni Outstanding Teaching Honoree, Associate Professor Howard Payne of our Art and Art History Unit. I would encourage each of you to walk by the studios on the first floor of the Weber Fine Arts Building. There, you will find Professor Payne energetically involved with his students. The activity generated by Howard and his students is truly remarkable and a credit to him as a teacher and a mentor. Professor Payne's interests are a combination of digital and traditional forms of printmaking. His research is an example of bringing those interests into the classrooms in Omaha, Nebraska for our students, but also internationally to his colleagues, as he did in China in 2019. It is my honor to present the 2020 CFAM Alumni Teaching Award to Professor Howard Payne. Congratulations, Howard.
I am pleased to be a part of the UNO Faculty Honors Convocation to celebrate outstanding faculty and to recognize engineering alumnus Dr. Michelle Ebel Hankins. Michelle juggles her time as a professor of practice in the Durham School for Architectural Engineering and Construction on the Scott campus, while also working as a lighting engineer in Omaha. In her teaching statement, Michelle said, "I love my job. I get to teach students about lighting, and I get to design real systems." Michelle provides our students with an abundance of valuable practical experience at our lighting programs. She also advises and mentors our students as they compete with the Illuminating Engineering Society, with these teams claiming 3 national championships in the last 5 years. Michelle is a well-respected professional in her field and a valued colleague in the College of Engineering. She's dedicated to her work, to the college, to the school, and especially to our students. We are grateful that she is a member of the faculty in the College of Engineering. Congratulations, Michelle, on this well-deserved honor.
We now move on to our campus honorees. Not only do these honorees have all the impressive curriculum vitae, but they also stand out in their teaching skills, mentoring, service, research, and engagement. Each of these individuals we are honoring today were nominated by their peers and their students, and then were vetted by a committee of experts in their respective fields. This was no easy task. These awards come with titles of outstanding, distinguished, and excellence. These words are a diverse concept. It's not confined to one particular person or one particular area, and it's not out of anyone's reach. This idea is reflected in the daily routine and behavior of our faculty. The ways in which faculty here at the university differentiate themselves on campus is unmatched and nothing short of extraordinary. As the campus honorees are recognized here shortly, you will soon know why the titles of outstanding, distinguished, and excellence are included. These honorees surpass all the ordinary standards. They're noteworthy in their fields, and like true mavericks, they are independent thinkers.
My name is Ken Bales. I am the Associate Vice Chancellor for Research and Creative Activity here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. This year's recipient of the Distinguished Research or Creative Activity Award goes to Dr. Gina Ligon, the Jack and Stephanie Korleska Professor of Collaboration Science Management in the College of Business Administration. Although there are many reasons Dr. Ligon was selected for this award, by far the most important is the outstanding leadership and innovation she's demonstrated in the field of counterterrorism research. Over the years, Dr. Ligon has become recognized across the nation as a leader in research on how terrorist organizations exploit social networking platforms to radicalize and recruit new members. Her work has not only led to over 80 publications in scholarly journals and books, but has served as a valuable resource to the United States government in the fight against terrorism around the world. Combined, these contributions have firmly established Dr. Ligon as one of the top investigators in the counterterrorism field. Because of her leadership skills and her innovative approaches to address the development and maintenance of terrorist organizations, Dr. Ligon was recently awarded a 10-year, $36 million Center of Excellence grant from the Department of Homeland Security to establish the National Counterterrorism Innovation, Technology, and Education Center, otherwise known as INSIGHT, of which she is the founding director. The function of this center is to coordinate the activities of researchers at 15 different institutions around the United States, clearly demonstrating DHS's confidence in Dr. Ligon's ability to lead in an area that is so critical to the security of our nation. Oh, and by the way, this grant also represents the largest research award in the history of the University of Nebraska. Not just UNO, but the entire University of Nebraska system. One of the things that makes this so special is the road Dr. Ligon took to get where she is today. You see, as a young woman growing up in Oklahoma, she witnessed firsthand the devastation left behind by one of the worst terrorist acts committed in our nation's history, the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City in 1995. As she will tell you, this event had a profound impact on her that served as powerful motivation to learn about what goes on in the minds of these terrorists and to use this information to prevent future attacks of this nature. Thus, that horrible event 25 years ago set Dr. Ligon's path to her future. Although it is tempting to say INSIGHT represents the culmination of an already outstanding career, I truly believe that you ain't seen nothing yet. Congratulations, Gina, for receiving this well-deserved award.
Hello, I'm Deborah Smith Howell, Associate Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs and Dean of Graduate Studies. And I'm truly honored to present this award today, the Graduate Mentor Award. The award was established to recognize that unique relationship between a faculty member and his or her graduate students. An exceptional graduate mentor is always an outstanding teacher, a model scholar, and more. They have a special focus on the professional and personal needs of each mentee. Mentoring involves a distinctive relationship. A mentor is someone who encouraged us, supported us, and helped us to be better than we ever really imagined possible. I know for me, and I think for many of us, there was a very special person in our graduate programs who shaped who we are today, not only as professionals, but as people. In presenting this award each year, we recognize much more than an individual. It provides an opportunity for us to celebrate those unique relationships and extraordinary faculty who exemplify the best of what it means to be a scholar. For me personally, presenting this award always reminds me to be very grateful to and for 3 special people who guided me through my graduate programs, and one that basically signed on as a life coach to this day. It reminds me of the exceptional UNO faculty who have been honored with this award in the past, and the list is a who's who of UNO's best. And I hope it does the same for each of you today. Today, a very special educator joins that who's who of UNO faculty recognized as an outstanding graduate mentor. It is my great pleasure to introduce this year's recipient, Dr. Brian McKevitt, Professor of Psychology. Brian joined the UNO School of Psychology faculty in 2006 with significant expertise as a practicing school psychologist. Dr. McKevitt has been recognized previously with numerous awards, including the UNO Alumni Outstanding Teaching Award and by the Nebraska School Psychologist Association and the Society for the Study of School Psychology. Today, we recognize Dr. McKevitt for his work as a mentor. This award recognizes him as a teacher, a scholar, and life coach. Outstanding mentors excel in all of these areas. Since his arrival at UNO, he has been actively supervising students in the Master's in Educational Specialist programs in school psychology, chairing over 30 applied research projects. These projects have resulted in almost 40 conference presentations with students as authors, and his students regularly present at the National Association of School Psychologists, the top school psychology conference in the nation, and they've been co-authored of refereed publications. But the mentoring role is more than in the classroom or a research project. Mentoring is about relationships. As one of his nominees wrote, he does everything he can to support his students within the classroom and beyond. As many graduate students know, it is easy to become overwhelmed and doubt your performance and abilities. Dr. McKevitt has always been a willing and active listener, served as a sounding board for overcoming dilemmas, assuaged my doubts, and reaffirmed that I am capable, confident, and on the right path. I have grown as a student, professional, and as a person with Dr. McKevitt's help. I know that Dr. McKevitt will continue to be a resource for me as I enter the workforce. His mentorship will not end once I have a degree in my hands. He will be someone I can lean on for professional support throughout my career. Clearly an outstanding mentor. In reflecting on his mentoring philosophy, Brian sums it up with junior colleagues. He says graduate students challenge his thinking and make him want to be a better professor, scholar, and school psychologist. He describes it as a reciprocal relationship and considers working with and mentoring students to be the best part of his job as a professor. Brian McKevitt truly epitomizes an outstanding graduate mentor. It is my great honor, on behalf of UNO faculty and students, to present Dr. Brian McKevitt the 2020 UNO Outstanding Graduate Mentor Award.
Hello, I'm Julie Dierberger, and I serve as the Paul Sather Distinguished Director of the Service Learning Academy. I am thrilled to acknowledge Dr. Sachin Babawaskar, a Senior Research Technology Fellow in the College of Information Science and Technology, as the recipient of the 2020 Faculty Service Learning Award. Providing students experiential learning experiences through service learning takes additional time, energy, and thought. Faculty members that teach service learning courses meet with their community partners to discuss their class, their learning goals, and project expectations. They do this because they believe their students are more prepared for the workforce, are better able to link theory to practice, connect authentically to the community, and are more well-rounded to serve our diverse communities. Dr. Babawaskar is receiving this award because of his dedication to students, community, and the Metropolitan Mission. Over the past 5 years, Sachin has engaged hundreds of students in service learning courses to ensure that they build the aforementioned knowledge, skills, and abilities while they are at UNO. He goes above and beyond by adding an additional layer of complexity to his service learning teaching by incorporating a collaborative P12 class partner in many of his service learning courses. Dr. Pabawaskar is passionate about not only ensuring his students have high-impact learning opportunities, but also is dedicated to increasing access to higher education for students across the Omaha community. He partners with P12 teachers to co-create P16 service learning opportunities that meet both courses' learning outcomes while completing a community-identified project. As a result, P12 students learn STEM concept early, engage in intergenerational collaborations, and see themselves as future mavericks. It is a true honor to acknowledge Dr. Pabawaskar's leadership with the Outstanding Faculty Service Learning Award. It is clear that with each class that he teaches, with each partnership developed, and every community-engaged research project he completes, he is transforming and improving the quality of life in our local, national, and global community. Thank you for your service, Dr. Pabawaskar, and congratulations.
Hello, I'm Candace Batten, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at UNO. It is my great pleasure to present the 2020 Excellence in Teaching Award to Dr. Ramazan Kilinch, Associate Professor in the Department of Political Science. The Excellence in Teaching Award was established in 1969 to recognize superior efforts, dedication, and exemplary conduct in the performance of the university's first task, the education of its students. The award is highly competitive, with nominations evaluated by an interdisciplinary group of faculty who are themselves typically award-winning teachers with high standards around teaching and learning. It is not an exaggeration to say that in many ways the nominees for this award represent the best of the best at UNO. Those who know Dr. Kilinch will not be surprised that he was recommended by his peers for this prestigious award to Chancellor Gold. Since joining the faculty in 2011, Dr. Kilinch has engaged in a broad and rich array of teaching activities that span in-person, remote, and online teaching, service learning courses, and study abroad opportunities. He also mentors students, inviting them to engage in research, conference, and publishing opportunities. Some of his students have gone on to receive graduate scholarships and even Fulbright awards. He has also contributed to the rich diversity of the curriculum through course development and contributions to the Islamic Studies minor and International Studies major. Much about Dr. Kilinch's approach to teaching is summed up in this statement. I believe the goal of good teaching is to foster student engagement in politics as responsible and thoughtful citizens. Dr. Kilinch explains that good teaching should help students understand the relevance of politics to their lives, improve students' critical thinking skills, and provide them with a comfortable learning environment in which they can freely exchange their ideas. This sentiment is borne out by one of Dr. Kilinch's students who says, his class was never just memorizing or reviewing facts. Engagement with global, national, and local politics was the norm. This student is not alone in his high praise. Other students use terms like fascinating, dynamic, inspiring, balanced, patient, and dedicated to describe Dr. Kilinch. Dr. Kilinch takes his teaching responsibilities seriously and is always looking for opportunities to enhance student learning through feedback from students, peer observations of his teaching, and participating in pedagogical workshops. He also generously shares tips on inclusive pedagogies and best practices with the campus community by collaborating on workshop offerings through the Center for Faculty Excellence. One of his recent teaching endeavors focuses on the development of a mentoring program for first-year exploratory studies students who have not yet declared a major. This intensive program is geared toward the retention of vulnerable students and speaks to his commitment to student learning and success. Many academics excel in one area of their profession, sometimes at the expense of the other areas. Such is not the case with Dr. Kilinch. whose talents lie in his ability to leverage his research experience to consistently raise the quality, engagement, and expertise of the classroom experience for both in-person and virtual classrooms. His courses always engage with the politics of the moment, which is no small feat in a complex and rapidly changing subdiscipline like Middle Eastern politics. Please join me in sincere congratulations to Ramazan for being named the 2020 recipient of the Excellence in Teaching Award.
Hello, my name is Sarah Woods, and I'm the Executive Associate to the Senior Vice Chancellor for Community Engagement. Along with Dr. Jane Meza, UNO's Associate Vice Chancellor for Global Engagement, I am pleased to present the inaugural Faculty Excellence in Engagement Award, which recognizes outstanding achievement in either global or community engagement. This year's winner is Dr. Mark Selensack from the UNO Department of History. Dr. Selensack is the Lewis and Francis Blumkin Professor of Holocaust and Genocide Studies and the Executive Director of the Sam and Francis Freed Holocaust and Genocide Academy. Dr. Selensack earned his PhD from York University in 2012. He is the author of 2 books with another in development. He has published multiple journal articles and book chapters and has presented nationally and internationally on topics related to the Holocaust and genocide studies. He serves on the executive committee of the Consortium of Higher Education Centers for Holocaust, Genocide, and Human Rights Studies, and was the conference chair for its inaugural conference at UNO in November 2019. Since his arrival at UNO in 2016, Dr. Selensack has been committed to engaging our campus and community, and in particular youth, through dialogues, workshops, and exhibits that ensure that we contemplate, observe, and remember the impact of racism and anti-Semitism, war, and genocide. In 2018, Dr. Selensack established a regional partnership between UNO and the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. This partnership was soon solidified by a 2-day series of events on campus titled Vectors of Violence, Persecution and Complacency in Nazi Germany and the Great Plains. Over 200 students and ultimately 400 community, campus, and academic attendees attended these events. In 2019, Dr. Selensack established a partnership with the Freed Academy and Yahad in Unum, an international anti-genocide organization based in France and established by Father Patrick Desbois, a French Catholic priest. Yahad locates sites of mass graves of Jewish victims of Nazi mobile killing units during the Holocaust. This partnership led to a 3-month exhibit at UNO titled Holocaust by Bullets, 10 Years of Investigation in the Christ Library. The multimedia installation engaged UNO students acting as docents. An estimated 130,000 people visited the exhibit, which culminated with a 2-day workshop for high school and university educators and a keynote by Father Desbois. In 2019, thanks to Dr. Selensack's existing partnership with the Pucker Gallery in Boston, the Freed Academy, with support from the Natan and Hannah Schwab Center for Israel and Jewish Studies, was able to arrange for an exhibit of 70 original works from the world-renowned and Holocaust survivor Samuel Bach. Over 4,500 people, including 2,000 middle and high school students, attended the exhibit at the UNO Art Gallery. The exhibit created engagement opportunities for faculty, staff, and students across our campus. Samuel Bach visited UNO, led student workshops, and delivered a keynote address, and the Pucker Gallery donated 3 of Bach's works to UNO. Due to the success of the exhibit, the Pucker Gallery later announced its intention to donate a large collection of Bach's work to UNO. This collection is the foundation of the Samuel Bach Institute Big Idea, for which Dr. Selensack is the principal investigator. In Dr. Sellensack's words, the Institute will awaken the community to the richness and diversity of the human experience and invite curiosity and collaborative learning through active engagement with ideas, artworks, and exhibitions. I will conclude my remarks with a closing comment from one of his nominators. Dr. Sellensack is an amazing partner who is invested in his community and ensuring that Holocaust and scholarship and education reach far and wide. He is an engaging educator, an excellent partner, and a genuinely nice person. Congratulations, Mark.
Now we want to recognize UNO's named chair and professorship recipients. Named chair and professorships are made possible by the generous individuals and organizations that have invested in our university and its mission. These gestures of faith in our institution and faculty represent a commitment and belief that UNO makes a difference in the lives of our local and global communities. Professorships facilitate research, support specific educational endeavors, provide emphasis on critical content, and enhance efforts to recruit and retain exceptional faculty. For these gifts, we could never say thank you enough. We have the privilege of welcoming the December 2018 Order of the Tower recipients and donors of 2 professorships, Mr. Jack and Dr. Stephanie Koroleski. They generously donated the funds to create the Jack and Stephanie Koroleski UNO College of Business Administration Professorship in Collaboration Science, as well as the Marty and John Atherton Mental Health Counseling Professorship. We're so honored that they are taking some time during the pandemic to tell us the importance of their and others' donations to professorships and chairs and what led them to make these contributions.
Well, once we made the investment in the CAB Lab, which was something we were very excited to do, and we got to meet the faculty and we got to see the work. You know, when somebody says collaboration science is very important to us, you don't really know what that is. But they really brought it to life for us. I mean, they really showed us all the work they were doing and things like that. And it's the value of, it's just not the business college, but it was technology and it was psychology and it was all these other things coming to play. And it just seemed like a logical fit that to sponsor a professorship in that area made so much sense to us.
We had done quite a few things for the UNO Business College, and I graduated from the counseling program at UNO, and I wanted to do something for that as well. So when I talked to the counseling department chair, I asked him what would be the most important thing, and he said a professorship would really help. And so when we did that, it was partly to help the department and also to honor Marty and John, who are both long-term UNO people. I think between them, they have probably educated or mentored most of the counselors in Omaha, and amongst them and all of their students probably have helped thousands and thousands of people in this area. So we thought it would be a great way to honor them as well as to help the department.
Aaron Bass, Department of Management, James R. Schumacher Chair of Ethics. Todd Richardson, Goodrich Scholarship Program, James R. Schumacher Chair of Ethics. Sarah Myers, Department of Biomechanics, D.B. and Paula Varner Professorship. Angela Eikenberry, School of Public Administration, D.B. and Paula Varner Professorship. Elizabeth Buchelt, Department of English, Albert W. and Helen J. Jeffers Chair of English Literature. Xiaoyan Chen, School of Accounting, Distinguished Alumni Professorship of Accounting. Christine Kutsukaki, Department of Biology, Haddix Community Chair in Science. Kathleen Danielson, Department of Teacher Education, Dr. Holly Bethel Professor of Education. Dale Easley, Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, John Morgan Community Chair in Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Franchising. Yulia Learler, Department of Computer Science, Cheryl Pruitt Diamond Professorship. John Lydon, Department of Religious Studies, Blazek Professorship in Religion. William Mahoney, School of Interdisciplinary Informatics, Charles W. and Margaret H. Durham Distinguished Professor of Information Science and Technology. Jennifer Riley, School of Accounting, William C. Hockett Diamond Professorship. Sandra Rodriguez Arroyo, Department of Teacher Education, Professor Robert Ackerman Faculty Fellow of Community Engagement. Nicholas Sturgio, Department of Biomechanics, UNO Distinguished Community Research Chair in Biomechanics. Mahedevan Subramaniam, Department of Computer Science, Charles W. and Margaret H. Durham Distinguished Professor of Information Science and Technology. Christine Swain, Department of Special Education and Communication Disorders, Isaacson Professorship. William Tapridge, Department of Biology. Sophie and Theodora Kahn Professorship in Biology.
Congratulations to our honorees. It is a true privilege to work with each and every one of you. UNO has some of the best in higher education, and we have a great deal to be grateful for and a great deal to be proud of. Thank all of you for helping us celebrate the achievements of these impressive individuals at UNO's 2020 Faculty Honors Convocation. The awards will be sent to the honorees after this ceremony. I hope to celebrate with each of you in person soon. Again, thank you so much, congratulations, and go Mavs. And don't forget, mask up.